Welcome students to another in our Investigating Science series. Today we're looking at an investigation as to which material is best for soundproofing. I'm sure you know what soundproofing is. Have you ever heard a sound that after some time it gets quite annoying? What about those loud sounds, those music boxes that play some very loud music in your community? Now we know that some sounds can be pleasant and some sounds can be unpleasant. And to judge whether the sound is pleasant or unpleasant has to do with, in most cases, how loud it is and also how it affects your hearing. So, if you had a loud sound that was bothering you, how could you ensure that you would reduce the effect of that sound? What could you do? Now, in many studios, persons who do recording can employ the use of what we call soundproofing materials. Now, we may not have some of those high-tech materials today, but we're going to look at how we could design an investigation to test which of these materials would be best for soundproofing. We have paper towel, regular paper towel that you can find at your home. We have newspapers, and we have what we'll call bubble wrap. I think that's a common name for it, all right? We have a box, and we're going to try to use our phones, or if you have an alarm clock at home, you can use that clock, set it to alarm, and see which of these materials would be best for reducing that sound. Now, why do we need to do these things? What are some of the effects of loud sounds? Think about it. After some time, when you hear a loud sound, if you're not careful, if it is too loud, what would happen? It would affect your hearing. It would affect certain areas in your ears, right? And after a while, if you notice, some persons develop problems with their hearing. And so generally, persons who work in environments where there are loud sounds, you may see them putting on something to cover their ears. We call that ear muffs, I think, right? And you can research all the different names and materials that are suitable for this. Okay, so we're gonna set our alarm using our phones, and we're going to determine which material we can use to reduce the sound. So how do I do this? Of course, what am I testing? I am testing 3 different materials. I have a box, right? And I want to ensure that this is a fair test. So of course, I would have my phone with my alarm, right? I would ensure that the box is lined, or the phone is wrapped in these different materials, right? And then I will close this box, and what would happen next is that I would change the material and see how it affects the sound that we hear. Now, if you listen closely, you can hear my alarm. Can you hear it? So we have placed our alarm clock in the box, and we're just trying to see what would happen, right, if I should change different materials. So listen, can you hear that sound? I'm sure you can hear it. Very well. Now, let's see what would happen. So our alarm is still going, and we're going to now try to wrap our phone into these different materials. So I have here paper towel. I'm going to line this box. So notice I would have kept my phone, same phone, right? Same phone, I'm using one box, and all I'm changing is the type of material I'm using to line my box. All right? And we're going to compare the sounds that we hear. We don't have a sound meter, so we just have to compare to see. So listen, that is what happened when we use our paper towel. Can you hear the sound? Okay, we can hear the sound. So we would note that and see how loud it sounds, right? Next, we're going to now change our material, right? Forgive the mess here for a bit. We're now going to use our newspaper. So see if you can crush your newspaper a bit. Put your phone. And then we're going to pack it. And see how well we can hear that sound. Are you still hearing that sound? Is it as loud as when we had the paper towel? Or you can determine that. All right. So let's try one other material. We're using our bubble wrap. All right. We don't have as much bubble wrap, so we're gonna wrap this in carefully. Now compare the sound. What do you think? Which material would you say was the best soundproofing material? Now you can make that determination, but I think the bubble wrap seemed to have reduced the sound that we heard. And so, in this case, it would represent the best soundproofing material. Now, at home, you can get different materials and try to design your own investigation to see which material is best for soundproofing. You may remember that sounds can be harmful, and so this is something that can be done in many areas to reduce the effects of sounds on our hearing. That's all for today. See you next time when we investigate another science concept in your surroundings.